Hello, and welcome to the Weird Waves podcast. My name is Taylor, and this is episode 33. On this week's episode, we are talking to professional bodyboarder Valentina Diaz Langdon. She is originally from Chile. She's currently in Hawaii for a couple of months surfing, bodyboarding pipe. And this is an awesome episode. We talk all about bodyboarding. I really wasn't that familiar with the sport. If you are in the Midwestern area, you know there's one local guy, the Flying Hawaiian, but that was just about all of the information I had. So this is a great deep dive into the sport of bodyboarding and also her journey to becoming a professional athlete. She was originally from the mountains, was a professional skier, and then found herself loving bodyboarding. This is a great episode. We learn a little bit about Chile, a little bit more about the professional side of bodyboarding, and it's just all around a really good episode. So I really hope that you guys enjoy.
Well, I'm Valentina Diaz. I am a professional bodyboarder from Chile. And I'm 20. I just turned 29 years old, and I'm 100% dedicated to the sport right now.
That's awesome. And so you were born and raised in Chile?
Born and raised in Chile, yes.
And is that how you got into the sport?
So I was actually a professional coach at ski.
Oh.
So because all my family, like in Chile, we have a lot of mountains. We have the Andes Mountains, and then we have a lot of ocean, the Pacific Ocean. So I kind of started, I was like a kind of professional skier, a coach, and then we had to move to the ocean because my dad, his company broke, so we had to move to the ocean. So I was kind of far away from the mountains, but I needed to do another sport. I was like desperate, like I need to, because I'm so used to adrenaline and do sports and whatever. And I started watching some guys bodyboarding, one of them my brothers, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. Like the ocean is for free, and I can just go and get a really like adrenaline nice sport as bodyboarding. I watch it every day and was like pretty cool. And I see all these guys like coming in with a big smile on the face, and I was like, yeah, I want to try it. So I'm kind of super curious person, so I was like, okay, I want to try this. So I asked my older brother if he could take me like surf, and he said no because Chile is a really super macho culture, so it was kind of hard. So I had to go by myself, and I started bodyboarding, and it just blew my. So that's how I started.
That's so interesting. How old were you when you guys moved?
We moved like when I was like kind of young, maybe 10, but until 17 I didn't discover bodyboarding. So okay. I started like at 17, kind of late.
And how was the transition from the mountains to the sea in terms of like sport wise, skiing versus bodyboarding?
Well, was not too bad because in both sports, at least in Chile, the water is cold. So in the mountain, you are kind of used to the cold weather, and in the ocean, it's like kind of same. And also, it's like for me, it was like pretty magical because it's like I'm kind of surfing in the mountains. The water as snow. And then I'm surfing, the same. I'm surfing kind of the same water that goes down from the mountains to the rivers and ended up in the ocean. So it was like kind of magical transition. But I get super used to like this another place that is called ocean because it's kind of wild. Also, like the mountain, it's just different. But it's kind of for me it was like, okay, so this is snow, but it's in a different liquid form. So it was kind of fun, but similar. So but I like it. It was not too hard for me to transition because of that.
And was it an instant connection you felt with bodyboarding? Were you good at it instantly or not really? How was that?
No, I was pretty bad. I really sucked, and I was like the only girl in this like little town. and all the boys make so much fun, so much laugh about me because I was just like getting pounded in the shore, and I didn't know no one like kind of teach me. So I just like learn everything by myself and watching the boys. And I'm a girl, so I'm not like I don't have the same strength than a boy, so it was kind of hard for me. But yeah, I just got super like passionate about it, and because everyone was laughing about me, I wanted to get better more, so
Yeah. That's awesome. And when did you start traveling for bodyboarding?
so when I started bodyboarding, I got super curious about the sport, about like waves. So I started like watching all these videos that I was available to watch in Chile, and all these magazines that some like some guy from out of Chile bring to Chile. So we just had that. We didn't have like internet, too much like internet information that time. So I just started to read like magazines and watch videos, and I was like, wow, like this is like there's so many waves in the world, and also I can go like bodyboarding in like warm water without a wetsuit. So it was like wow, like blowing my mind was like discovering like a full continent, like so much possibilities out there, and I just like I was stoked to just traveling and go to different waves. That's one of the things the most I like of bodyboarding, that gives you that like that push and that freedom to go out of your comfort zone and have certain other places if you want to get better.
Where was the first place that you went?
Was Panama. I went to straight to Central America. I made a budget and I just went to like the most like better place I could go in that time, and with the quality of waves that was like for my level, at that time. So first time I went to Panama, and I spent like maybe 2 months in Panama traveling and just searching for waves, and so that thing made me open the door to the world also.
That's awesome. Yeah, I figured that you traveled because your location on Skype says Australia, you said it's Hawaii time, your bio says you're from Chile, and I'm like, okay, this girl, she gets around.
Yeah, yeah, I'm kind of a nomad. So, yeah, I kind of love that thing about bodyboarding and surfing, that you have to travel, you have to chase the waves and the weathers and the storm. It's the most fun about it, I think. Yeah, so right now I'm in Hawaii. Yeah, I'm just traveling all year.
That's awesome. How long will you be in Hawaii?
I have been for 1 month, and I'm gonna stay 1 month more.
That's awesome. And how did you go from just trying to focus on bodyboarding as a sport to making it more professional? How does that work?
That I'm still working for that, and has been really, really difficult because the sport as a professional sport in Chile, it didn't exist. Like it didn't exist like professional bodyboarding like in Chile when I started. So I kind of had to build up something that didn't exist already. So uh I just got obsessed with the idea that I wanted to, be available to serve more time, because I was like working as a ski instructor and then traveling with the money, traveling to surf and all that. But I wanted to make it a job, so I can surf more and grow my level and be better, So I kind of had to like invest in myself like for 1 year, and I start competing. So if I start competing and I have results, maybe the sponsors are gonna come to me, because I'm from South America, I'm from Chile, so it's not too develop the sport, and especially if it's not an Olympic sport. So it was really, really hard, but little by little, going out of Chile, exposing myself everywhere around the world, and making myself a name, and then going back to Chile and start little by little, I start to get sponsors. So has been a really long work, but it works. So I'm super happy now. What like I made for Chile now is a professional job. The government support us, and it's really cool.
Wow, that's so incredible. What what is the biggest difference between surfing and bodyboarding? Maybe in terms of I'm not even sure. I honestly, there's only one local guy by where we surf that bodyboards. He's amazing, and he we call him the Flying Hawaiian. He's from Hawaii.
Cool.
uh, but I don't really know that much about it. So could you maybe talk us through the differences between the two?
Okay, so actually, bodyboarding it born from surfing. So bodyboarding, like bodyboarding as we know it now, it began in the 71 with a shaper called Tom Murray. Is a shaper that he's from Hawaii, and he was like super eccentric shaper of surfing boards. So he one day he discovered like he wanted to surf more hollow waves, more hollow and shallow waves in the shores of the different beaches, like that you cannot surf with a surfboard. Was not available because the physics of the board couldn't do it. So this guy Tom Murray, he invented the first bodyboard in 71, right, in Hawaii. So then it started all this. So bodyboarding uh is kind of the same but with a small board, and the difference is that we bodyboarders, we like to surf hollow, shallow, barreling waves, like a kind of different type of way that surfers surf, kind of. So we really like to do air maneuvers, and it's more like an how could I say, like uh it's like a lot of air maneuvers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of this, like we use much more our body, and like in this kind of thing.
Right, because only half of your body is on the board, right? Your legs are in
Yes,
the water, and you wear fins.
yes. The fins of us is like equal to the fin of a surfboard in the surfboard. So
Ah,
we use our fins in the water in our body to make the same kind of physical result.
wow, that makes a lot of sense. I can see that visual. So you're basically using the front of the bodyboard and then your body
Yeah,
with the fins to create a surfboard.
yeah. We use all the body. So yeah,
And are you paddling into waves or kicking into waves because you have the fins?
you can do both. You can do both, or you can, depends on the wave, but you can paddle with your arms, or you can paddle with your fins, or you can do both. Depends on the quality of the wave and how hard it is.
And so since this is a professional sport, I'm assuming that there's a huge difference in boards, just like there is surfboards, right? There's probably like can you get like a custom board and custom fins? How do you figure out what you like and you don't like?
Oh, it's a whole world, like it's a whole universe. The boards, 1 inch more and 1 inch like less, it can like help you or can like be so different like in your surfing. So every detail, the bottoms, the tails, the nose of the board, the different materials for different temperatures of water, different boards for different types of waves, because you have beach breaks, you have shore breaks, you have wedges, you have reef breaks, you have point breaks. So every depends on the wave you are surfing, and depend in what you want to do is gonna be the board you want to use for that. And also the fins, like it's like so many different things, and it depends what you like. If you like to advance more but to have like more like a soft fins, or you want it's kind of depending, but it's a whole world. You have super different shapes, and you can do custom boards. I'm making one in Japan right now for the competition. So that's kind of it's a lot of difference, and it depends in your level also.
And does the pro circuit follow the WSL, or is there a different league completely?
The different completely. It's like the World Tour of Bodyboarding and the World Tour of Surfing is totally different. But they do some events. They do them in the same waves. Like there's one event here in South America, in Chile, that they do the WSL competition, and then we have like a World Tour competition of bodyboarding. So in same wave.
Yeah, I'm just asking a lot of questions because I really don't know, and it's very, very interesting. It's so funny that with surfing and with this podcast especially, I've discovered so many different ways to ride a wave, like, and all different types
Oh
of
yeah.
waves. And
Yes.
whether it's bodyboarding or, like the hand plane surfing, and just so many different ways to experience a wave. It's just totally fascinating for me. So,
It is. It's true. You can have a million types of waves, a million. So that's a magic thing about this sport, surfing or bodyboarding or just surfing in whatever thing, or body surfing is like you have to read the ocean, and a wave is gonna, like hit the shore, and it's gonna make a shape, and it's gonna be that wave is gonna be unique. It's not gonna be the same wave of another one, like always it's gonna be different. So that's the most difficult part, I think, is like reading the wave and understanding the ocean is the most difficult thing that gives you a lot of experience and study. It's really interesting, actually.
totally. And this is going to sound like a funny question, but one of the first things
Okay.
I think of is because your half of your body is in the water. Do you find it hard? Do you ever lose your bathing suit bottoms?
Oh, that's a super interesting question. Actually, I have some details for that. So I learned through experience that I cannot use a normal bikini. I have to use like a full suit on a full bikini, because you can lose it very easily. Like uh, for bodyboarding, for sure. Like for surfing girls, I saw them like using bikinis all the time, but bodyboarding is like kind of more aggressive sport, so it's more hard for the body, and you like like it's not that delicate. So yeah, one time I lose the bottom of my body in a place in Australia, and was like full of photographers out of the water, and I was like, no, I'm not going inland until I find my bikini, because if you imagine, like I'm like screwed. So I wait 20 minutes, and finally I find the bottom of my bikini. So never, that's an advice. Just use full bikinis, girls. Like you don't want to lose your bikini in the middle of the ocean with a lot of people watching.
That it has to be one of the big struggles. I feel like every female water woman has some kind of story of either losing a top or losing a bottom,
Yeah.
and you know, it's very
Yeah.
funny.
So
They do make really nice ones that have like ties so they can be secure, but I would imagine that with that half of your body being in the water, you shouldn't maybe take any chances with that.
yeah. And then the sound goes everywhere. It's like kind of you have to be super comfortable so you can focus to surfing and not focus that you're gonna lose a bikini. So
100%. That makes perfect sense to
yeah,
me.
yeah. But happens to every girl, I guess. Like one time happened
And
for sure.
your sponsors that you have now, did they contact you or did you contact them, or how does that happen?
Uh, so at my first year doing the world tour, I was looking for sponsors, so I was like chasing a lot of private companies and government. But when I started to have like like results in competitions, they just came to me. So now it has been I did like the hard work in the beginning, and now it's like they come to me, and yeah, it's really cool to see it. Now it's much, they want to sponsor like different sports, and like all this movement about the female sports and the industry and how everything is changing. They are more interested about the woman, so they come more now to try getting in companies or like be the image of to to be sponsored. So it's kind of getting better with the time, with the years.
That's awesome. And how do you personally choose now that you have more sponsors available? Do you pick whoever? Do you try to have a certain product in line, or how does that work for you?
I really like all the companies that are like kind of putting some energy and invest being ecologically friendly with nature, with the ocean, and that they also want to kind of teach people in some way to be better with the environment and with sports, and they can like a company that represents different kind of values that I'm in the same page. So I like to pick the ones who are like for example in Chile, I like to support like national companies that are from there, and also I was almost kind of changed my nationality and came to the States to like kind of compete from the States. But then I was like, I couldn't, because like in my country they want to sponsor me as well. So of course I'm gonna go for my country. But I try to be. I'm kind of picky with some companies. I really want them to have the same vision as me, and kind of same values and basic. So yeah, I'm kind of picky with that. But yeah, whatever industry is, like has the same boundaries than me.
That makes great sense. When you are going out into the water and you're not in Chile, do you find the same kind of machismo attitude, or do you feel like it has changed?
Uh, I can see the really big differences in different countries. Like Europe, for sure, is like is more. They have more developed on this kind of equality with the, and but this is men's sports. So everywhere in the world that you go, it's gonna be, the macho vibe and macho thing always, and it's gonna be hard. But yeah, it's because it's a men's world, bodyboarding. Like women's, we are kind of small in the sport, but we're super strong, and we're like all the time like showing how we push the limits to be, like to show the world we can do like saying that boys and also we are girls. So it's like a really nice kind of market. It's really interesting, and it's really good for I think it's really interesting for showing the girl going high in the level and doing like really amazing things in really amazing places and waves, and yeah.
When you're competing, are you competing against men? Is it men and women competing together? Is it women's division and a men's division?
So in the world tour is a women's division, professional women's division, and separates men's division. But sometimes, not in all the contests, like out of the world tour, they have some contests. They can kind of invite some girls, but some of the contests they just gonna let you go with the boys. Like for example, like I got invited to a contest in Mexico this summer. That is the first bodyboarding big weight contest, and I'm the only girl in the list of 24 boys. I'm the only girl, so that's really cool. It's an honor for me, but I think if it's just one or two girls, I think they should have a category, because we can compete with the men's and we can do well, but we want our own category, because we are different, So that's kind of the situation right now. They're still developing that in out of the professional tour.
What is your preferred wave? What's your favorite, like, perfect day?
A perfect day will be like waking up in a place that is not cold, and go like before the sunrise to the water, watch the sunrise from the water, having nice wave with a couple friends. That's it. Like a place that is not too much people, and could be a beach break or surf break, but maybe in a small town somewhere, and yeah, just nice waves with a couple friends. A place that is not too crowded. Could be an island in the Polynesia, or there's a couple places, but yeah, that will be like kind of free surfing is really nice to have with some friends. Is much fun than competition. So that will be a nice day.
When you are surfing, or sorry, when you're bodyboarding with surfers, do you find that there is some kind of competition for waves, or do they kind of like do you do your own thing?
Well, depends where. Like in places where it's like, for example, here in Hawaii, there's a lot of culture about surfing, about bodyboarding, about every water sport. So there's a lot of respect for one and like for each other. There's a lot of professional surfers and bodyboarders here, so they have really much respect for each other, because bodyboarders teach surfers how to surf in this wave that they think they couldn't surf, because we show them with example. And we also admire surfers because they have, like, so it's respect and learn from each other a lot. But that's like in a super high level, like in a super professional level. We have a lot of respect, but there's like another situation that is like where people is not well educated about bodyboarding and surf, and where the sport came from, and all this history about the sport. In some places it's like this, like a separation, or like a confrontation, or like competition between both, where it's places that is they don't have the culture, or they don't know the history about it. So in some places it's like they kind of surfer with bodyboarders, they kind of fight, like Candace, where it was like skiers with snowboarders, kind of the same. In some places it's like that, but in the professional high level is you don't see that much.
That's good. That's good to hear. I had talked with some kiteboarders too, and they were saying kind of like a similar situation, because the sport of kiting is so new, and
Yeah.
with surfers, it's an older sport, so there's like some slight animosity between.
Yeah.
But once everybody kind of gets used to the different types of people in the water doing different things, it kind of seems to chill out a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
What is the biggest and also the smallest wave that you have bodyboarded on?
Okay, so I think the biggest wave I have catch that they recorded, and I have pictures of it. It was 2000 July 23 at Chicata, Puerto Escondido, Mexico. That was the biggest one. I think was like 20 wave, and I catch it without a motor, without kind of security. So it was like super pure, kind of crazy thing I did. Yeah, Puerto Escondido is it's a spot for big wave surfing. So I go every year, train there for that, for big wave. And the smallest, I think, in Japan, when I went to Japan to surf, I catch really small waves, but fun.
And you got pretty famous from surfing pipe, is that correct? Is that when you got a lot of press and attention, or was there another moment that kind of you felt was a turning point for your career?
So I think both. I think, well, I did take the individual gold medal in the Pan Americans in Peru, 2015. Then I get super famous in my country and kind of international. But coming to Hawaii every year is part of my career, definitely, because here is the Mecca. And here in Hawaii, surfing pipe, like you make your career go up because it's like all the owners of the brands are here, all the best photographers of the magazines are here, or all the another professional surfers and bodyboarders are here. So if you catch a good wave at Pipeline, and everyone's gonna be watching you. So that's why I came to Hawaii every year, is because I have building my name internationally, and this is the best place to come and do that. So that's why.
Do you manage yourself, or do you have a team that supports you in scheduling and managing your career?
I have been having a manager for the last 4 years, and has been really, really helpful because I have to travel all the time. So he managed me. And also, I started working this year with the whole Olympic team and trainers from Chile. So that's gonna help me a lot. Also, it's really good to have a team. Like I travel alone for the contest and everything, but I have like a super good team in my back. They can support me when I'm traveling.
It's fantastic. What do you do to train outside of actually bodyboarding? Do you have special workouts that you do, nutrition that you follow? How does that work?
Okay, so the main thing is like I have to have my physique all the time in 100%. I have to have really good cardio and really good like what's another name? I have to be like 100% my body working like a machine. So I kind of I have that already built with all the years. I have really good like physics condition, and I do a lot of apnea in the water, and also I train like super like specific um, out of the water techniques for some, and also I'm doing like a mental training for competition. And out of that, I spend a lot of hours in the water, and out of that, I if I'm not bodyboarding and I have like some time for resting, I'm just doing like another kind of sport. Like I really like jiu-jitsu, like personal defense, and I just like hiking and I like skiing. So whatever sport kind of take me out of bodyboarding for a little bit, but I can keep like exercising myself so I don't lose my physique, my physics. So yeah, that's kind of I don't like train specifically one thing out, just like kind of super specific moves for bodyboarding and yeah, mind, and just I have to have my body in 100% all the time. So I just kind of try to spend the more hours in the water, and my diet is like 95% vegetarian, but I kind of, if I really want to eat something, I just eat it. I can't taste it, but if I one time of on the month or whatever I want to eat meat or whatever I want to eat, I just eat it. If I feel it, I do it. So it's kind of that. Just try to healthy, a lot of raw veggies to get the most energy from the plants. And then, yeah, a lot of water and a lot of good sleep also to recover my muscles and my body.
What is the most challenging thing about being a professional athlete?
I think it's that you spend a lot of time alone. Like you have to travel a lot, and competition. When I go to a competition, I kind of commit myself 100%, and that's hard because it's like, a competition, you don't have friends, you don't have like anything. So in the mental part, it's kind of hard because you have to be kind of um you have to be alone, and you have to take all the time and the energy for you for make your your goals. So that part is difficult because like I cannot have too much social life. That I think that's the most hard, like being alone and the frustration when you have a bad day or whatever. That's kind of the more worst.
Do you find that now that you kind of have a team behind you that that's better? I would imagine maybe it's
Yes,
a little bit better.
totally. It's totally much better because like someone is like backing you up, and if I need to like talk with someone, I have like this sports psychology person, and it's like I feel like a lot of support behind, so that helps a lot.
That's awesome. Did you study at all, or did you just go right into professional sports?
No, I study because as this thing was not a professional career, I went to university and I'm a landscape architect.
Oh,
So I
wow.
was like, okay, I'm gonna have my degree in the university, and then I'm gonna go all for bodyboarding, but with that in my hand. So it's kind of I feel pretty safe because I know if one doesn't work, then other is gonna work. I kind of did that before I become professional bodyboarder.
That's awesome. Landscape architect. That's so cool. How did
It's
you?
beautiful. I love it.
I bet. I bet. I mean, it makes sense. It's nature again. You
Yeah,
like being in nature, so
yeah.
that makes great sense. Do you think about what you want to do when your career might end, maybe? Or do you just kind of try to focus on the moment? What is your philosophy for that?
Um, Now I'm living every day and making every day, pushing myself to in my professional career, but also I'm watching what I want to do after my career. So I'm gonna keep competing for a couple more years. I want to be world champion. So after that, when I do that, I wanna do things for my country. I wanna like make bodyboarding a tool for society and for culture in Chile, so we can like give little kids and give family a tool for for society, for kids in social risk go like see all these free resources that is the ocean, and they can use it for good, for being better. And I want to do that in Chile. So, and I also want to combine that with all the ecology and the protection and the conservation of the oceans. So I kind of want to go that way after I retire of competition.
Makes great sense. And it seems like there's a huge focus in Chile on protecting the environment. My husband and I actually, we had a layover in Chile. You have to stop there, and everybody gets off the plane.
Yeah,
They take everything off the plane, and there's tons of announcements about things that are banned, and you can get a huge fine for that. And
yeah,
I thought that was really awesome. And they make you watch a video on the plane about why you're doing this, so they're not just doing it, they're also educating people. I just think that's really great.
yeah. They Chile has a really they worry a lot about protection, about things coming in the country, because we are like kind of small. We're like this little island. We have the Andes Mountain in one side. We have the Pacific Ocean another side. We have the Antarctic in the bottom, and we have the desert up in the north. So it's like kind of we're like naturally protected. So they want to keep that, So it's really cool, and I think the government is realizing that a lot of people is coming to Chile for the tourism, for the adventure tourism and ecotourism. So they kind of start protecting a lot uh, the ocean. They make a lot of rivers and also a lot of places of conservation for native forests. So that's pretty cool. All this like creations of new national parks and all that is really good, because it's like our economics depend on that also. So that's really smart. I'm happy government is like taking care about it.
Yeah, it's very cool to see. I didn't really know very much about Chile, to be honest, until we had that stopover there, and it was really cool. And the airport's also really nice. It's right in the mountain.
Huh. Yes.
You're like,
Did you see the Andes mountain with the snow?
I think it's in Santiago was where we were, our
Yeah,
connection.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and so as you're landing, you're coming down and the airport is like at the bottom and you look out the window of your plane and there's mountains everywhere. It's just incredible.
Yeah, yeah, it's nice. It's nice city, Santiago.
What are some things, just while we're on the topic of Chile, that you can share about Chile that people might not know?
Well, Chile is beautiful, long, thin country, and we have a lot of wild nature. So landscape, it goes super different from the north to the south. We have really dry deserts. We have really rich valleys for fruits and wine, and in the south is just incredible landscape in Patagonia. I think is the most cool thing about Chile is that we have one of the most pure waters and pure air in the world. So that's kind of one of the things I think is really cool about us, that we have like all this water that is super clean and fresh. So that's one big thing, I guess.
It's awesome. What is the weirdest wave that you have ever surfed?
So that was in Nazaré in Portugal. Nazaré is a place that is getting super famous because they have like these big waves and everyone is kind of go there and surfing, and it's like so in the bottom of the ocean near this place is like is deep, super deep like canyon.
Mm.
So all the water that came from the swells, they kind of stuck in this canyon and makes like a super weird shape of wave that is like, it's just like a mountain. So it's pretty insane. If you guys can watch it in YouTube or whatever, Nazaré waves in Portugal is pretty insane. So I think that's the weirdest way I have ever like surfed in my life.
And what was your biggest oh shit moment while bodyboarding?
I I think was kind of the first time I came to Hawaii and the first time I surfed pipeline, because I was just watching for years and years videos and reading about this wave and watching all this magazine, and when I got here and I saw it for the first time and I surfed it for the first time, was like just like taking myself actually to a movie. So I feel like a movie for a couple months. First time I was in the ocean. And another one could be in Puerto Escondido in Mexico. One time that was like the most big swell of the in 2011, and I saw the most biggest waves I have seen in my life, and it was out in the water. Was like just professional big wave surfers. It was like maybe 10 guys. It was just me and another girl, and that was like super like a spiritual moment, because in that conditions everyone knows that you can die in any moment. It's like you're scared, but also you are super conscious about now, about like this whole like almost you can see God in the waves coming. It's like super spiritual, amazing, like significant, symbolic thing that you live and experience. So I think that's beautiful ones.
That's awesome. And what is next for you?
Okay, so I'm here in Hawaii now. I'm in my pre-season for the World Women's Tour of bodyboarding that starts May. So I'm gonna do all the world tour this year. I'm top 8 right now. So yeah, I'm gonna follow the tour. I'm gonna go to Brazil, Chile, South Africa, and Portugal. So yeah, I have my goal this year for do good in the world tour. I'm hoping to be between the 5 best in the ranking. And also, I'm doing my first coaching bodyboarding adventure trip in Mexico in May, from the
Oh,
13th
awesome.
of May until the 18th of May. Yeah, that's really cool. You guys can check it out. I can give you my Instagram on the page where we're selling the trip. And it's going to be pretty awesome because it's a coaching trip just for girls, for bodyboarding girls of any level, of any language, of any age. So it's gonna be like just 10 spots, and we're gonna go all to like nice hotel in Mexico, and we're gonna do like everyday coaching. Every day they do like some like touristic ecotourism adventure with me, and it's gonna be super fun. 2 things I'm doing this year, so that's it.
That sounds incredible. Well,
Yeah, it's
thank you.
gonna be fun.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. This was so awesome. I feel like I learned a lot this episode.
Well, that's good. Like that's our mission is like educate people. So thanks to you a lot. Thanks for having me here and share with everyone about my passion and my sport.
And that was episode 33. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I will link all of the information for Valentina in the description. She also has a really cool retreat coming up in May. It is for women to learn all aspects of bodyboarding, whether you are a beginner or an advanced bodyboarder. This sounds like a really great opportunity, so I will put all of that information in the description. And of course, if you want to reach out to us, send us an email, shoot us on Facebook, Instagram. Everything is Weird Waves Podcast. Let us know what you're liking, what you're not liking. Of course, we appreciate all the feedback and all the listens. And of course, we will see you next Monday again with another fresh episode. Have a great week, guys.